Forget about the beasts ravaging New York, and forget about that little clown with his unbelievably ugly haircut. There's a much bigger threat to the magic community, and it's coming straight from the Ministry, the Auras. So you might be wondering how that should be possible. After all, representatives were elected to Makusa to create laws that both policed and protected American wizard kind, as to be read on Pottermore. So you might assume that auras are just an equivalent to policemen in the Muggles world. Very wrong. We as the audience are always willing to just accept the fact that auras are those incredible, super strong, handsome, super strong guardians of justice. And there are good reasons for that. To explain this thoroughly, let's first take a look at the Harry Potter lore and come back to this Newt guy later. As a matter of fact, Harry himself has the goal to become an Aura, and so does Ron. But even over the course of the Harry Potter books, we see that the Auras are somehow divided. Tonks, Shacklebolt, and a few others, for example, are part of the Order of the Phoenix, while the other Auras seem to obey only the Ministry. But the Ministry of Magic is part of the problem. Let's look at their real-life equivalent for a moment again. It gets a little political now, but bear with me. The police is usually under the control of the Home Office or the Ministry of Defense, and these and the other government departments make up the executive. The Parliament, that consists of the House of Lords and the House of Commons in the UK, is responsible for the draft of bills that are ultimately going to be laws. Their head is the Prime Minister, and altogether they make up the legislative. The judges then judge by these laws. That's the judiciary. There's not one powerful guy who controls everything. That's like the most basic shit in democracy. But what about the Minister of Magic? Does this apply to him? No. Not at all. Not in the UK and not in the US. Just take Cornelius Fudge, who is the Minister of Magic in the majority of the Harry Potter books. He doesn't f*** around with democracy or anything, he just cuts the crap and gets to the point. Not only does he have the Auras under his direct control and can order them to arrest someone, he can also simply launch new laws just like he wants to, and he's also the head of the Wizengamot, which is something like the highest court. How is this possible? In the second installment of the Harry Potter books, Fudge personally comes to Hogwarts to arrest Hagrid, despite the fact that there's absolutely no evidence that Hagrid is guilty of a crime.
He's Fudge, Minister of Magic.
Bad business, Hagrid, very bad business. Had to come. 3 attacks on Muggleborns. Things have gone far enough. The Ministry's got to act.
But I never.
Albus, look, Hagrid's record is against him. I've got to take him.
Take me? Take me where? Not Azkaban prison?
I'm afraid we have no choice, Hagrid.
He doesn't even need the approval of a judge or attorney or anything, really. But honestly, that wouldn't even change anything. He might as well just launch a new law that fits his agenda. Or actually, he is a judge. As the chairman of the highest court, he can just approve himself, right? Okay, so Fudge is a fudging autocrat. And a big fat jerk who doesn't give a f*** about justice or the division of powers or to serve the people. But what does that have to do with the Auras? Well, the answer is plain and simple. They are no better. On a lower level, they basically combine the judiciary and the executive. We can clearly see that when Percival Graves, who is a powerful aura in the Fantastic Beasts lore, simply sentences Newt and Popentina, man, what a name, to death. My god, when I saw that in theaters a few weeks ago, I was like, wow, he can pull that through, right? No. What? No. And yes, he does, and that's so damn wrong. But Newt and Tina just accept it and cry about them being innocent. You know what? I would expect at least one of them to understand basic f***ing democracy and protest against this bullshit. But no, they just will be killed immediately. Well, it sometimes lasts years until a death row inmate is actually killed, or the trial lasts for years. No, in the wizarding world, it just happens on the same day. Great. No second looks, no doubts, Not even a trial. And this behavior is exactly why division of powers exists in the first place. So not despotism, fear, and followership reign, but justice, peace, and freedom do. And that is why auras are undemocratic. But why is it like that? If you step back for a moment and ask yourself, why did Joanne K. Rowling include such a broken system not only into the Harry Potter books, but again into the Fantastic Beasts world as well? When I contemplated about this question, my initial answer was, well, she just doesn't know better. She just didn't pay any attention in her politics class, and well, she thinks that that's how the real world works too. But that answer is not very satisfying. Moreover, I can't believe that despite some minor flaws, the story is incredibly coherent and elaborate. I think Rowling didn't just throw that in there because she felt like it. I think she had good reasons for it. The authorities function as an obstacle. In addition to the main villain, either Voldemort or Grindelwald, they are so important because they isolate Harry/Newt. Imagine that that wasn't the case and there was a stable, democratic and incorrupt government instead. After the events following the Triwizard Tournament, the reawakening of Voldemort, Harry could have simply reported to the Aurors, "Hey guys, I just saw Voldemort coming back to life and he killed Cedric. Boo-hoo. And I would really like to file charges against Tom. Follows the riddle. Okay, Mr. Potter, please sign here, here, and here." And even if Fudge wouldn't have been willing to help, it would have been none of his business in the first place. Because as a minister, you can't just force a policeman to drop the charges. "Hey Harry, I really don't believe you, and I've done absolutely nothing wrong, okay? Nothing. And Voldemort is not back. That's so ridiculous. But by law, I am forced to let my people investigate this further, especially if there's a murder involved. So, yeah, go on, guys, go on." And maybe, just maybe, Voldemort would have never risen to power again, and there would only be 5 Harry Potter books. The last one, of course, being the super thrilling Harry Potter and the Ministry of Magic that does its job and arrests Voldemort and, after a year-long trial, puts him into Azkaban. Even though I could see John Grisham write that. But hey, I agree that would probably not have been as thrilling as a witch coming to Hogwarts and torturing students, and the whole Fantastic Beasts story might have never happened. Newt would have reported that he accidentally unharnessed the beasts, and he and Tina wouldn't have been sentenced to death, but rather Makusa would just have searched for the animals, and everything would have been completely different, and probably much more boring. And in case you still need another piece of evidence, J.K. Rowling actually confirmed what I told you by pointing this out herself in an interview in 2007. "I think you can see in the Ministry, even before it's taken over, there are parallels to regimes we all know and love." Laughter and applause. So I don't know why you guys are laughing there, if she's obviously referring to the Nazi regime. Oh, the Brits. So, to wrap this up nicely, I think J.K. Rowling has some sort of problem with her government. The constant subliminal critic is definitely there, but I think she has every right to do it, and I really look forward to her next movie, Newt Scamander Fucks the System. Arc up! Fuck the system, fuck the system. So yeah, I just realized that I didn't even introduce myself. Yeah, my name is Jan, and this is my YouTube channel. And yeah, if you like this video, then please consider subscribing. And I'm going to keep on making videos, I think weekly, probably. And see you next time.